yesterday you saw students that how actually the child decided that he, no matter what happens, but he would definitely ask to his parents to have a ride on, to make him have a ride on roundabout. But when he would turn back to seek the reply from his parents, actually there was no reply. He turned to look at his parents, they were not there ahead of him. He turned to look on either side, they were not there. He looked behind, there was no sign of them. Actually, as the boy turned to look back, at his parents, his parents were missing. There was no his parents, and ahead also, his parents was not ahead of him also. And then he turned on either sides. Then he turned look on both the sides of the road, but his parents was not there as well. And then he looked behind, but still there was no sign of them. So actually he actually lost himself from his parents. He was actually lost in that fear. A full deep cry rose within his dry throat, and with a sudden jerk of his body, he ran from where he stood, crying in real fear, "Mother, father." So now what's the reaction of the child after knowing that he has lost the actually he has been deprived from his parents. He is alone right now. The first reaction of the child is that he start running from there, crying in real fear. And what he is crying out loudly? A mother and father, and tears were actually rolled down from his eyes, hot and fires. His flushed face was convulsed with fear. Flushed means, red, becoming red with anger or with some extreme emotion. And then convulsed means full of. He was soaked with tear. His whole face was actually flushed and convulsed with fear, and he was actually panic stricken. Student, what is panic stricken? Panic, when we get panic, and the stroke of panic. He ran to one side first, then to the other, hither and thither. Hither and thither, student, represents here and there in all directions, knowing not where to go. Mother, father, he wailed. Wailed means, cried deeply. His yellow turban came untied, and his clothes become muddy. Actually, his turbans were also untied from his head, and then his clothes also become muddy. So after knowing that he has lost his parents, he was totally, a student panicked, and he actually didn't understand what he should do and what he shouldn't do, as he was a very small child at that age.